Do you have anxiety? Anxiety is a familiar human emotion. It helps us to evaluate potential threats, alerts us to things that are potentially hazardous, and enables us to give an appropriate response to them, which includes focusing our attention on accelerating our reflexes. However, when one experiences anxiety frequently in everyday life, it can be overwhelming and stressful. Before we begin, remember this video is for educational purposes only, not a substitute for professional advice, diagnosis, or guidance. With that said, here are some methods that you can incorporate in your life to survive anxiety. Number 1, learning what triggers your anxiety. Psych-to-goers, do you know what psychodynamic theory is? The psychodynamic theory states that when you possess a higher level of self-understanding, you will have fewer negative automatic reactions to stress and challenges. Know that different people have different manifestations of anxiety. People can be anxious due to different things. Perhaps you have excessive worry that other people are judging you. Maybe you feel that you experience excessive worry while being outside, or you can feel that your heart is beating wildly while you're inside a very small space. Learning what triggers your anxiety and what symptoms you experience is really helpful in dealing with anxiety effectively. Number 2, challenge your negative thoughts. Have you ever found yourself making small social blunders? Perhaps you say something that someone else feels is offensive. Maybe you laugh, sneeze, or cough at the wrong time. Or maybe you spill something on yourself. Now, it's important for you to recognize your thought process. You can list down your negative thoughts in your journal. For example, you can start by asking yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Why am I so afraid of this? What could you tell a friend worrying about the same thing? Going over these thoughts beforehand, before an event, can be really helpful so that it's pre-programmed in your brain when you do experience this event, so that you can remember that no matter what happens, it's not the end of the world. Number 3, take a time out. If you feel overwhelmed and on edge, you can always distract yourself with your hobbies and other beneficial activities. Take a moment and practice meditation and learn relaxation techniques. And do you know about mindful behavioral therapy? Studies have found that this treatment modality has a strong positive effect on the mood and symptoms of people with anxiety disorders. We can think of mindfulness as trying to imagine your negative thoughts that come into your mind as coming from a loud radio that is tuned to a station where the thoughts are very negative and seem to be shouting at you. And being mindful is not so much about trying to turn the radio off, but changing the way you listen to the radio. The volume of the radio station can be reduced and therefore seem less disruptive and distressing. Number 4, practicing acts of kindness. According to a study done by True and Alden in 2015, 115 college students who have social anxiety were asked to perform little acts of kindness for 4 weeks. The result demonstrated that performing small acts of kindness is useful in decreasing the urge to avoid social situations. People with social anxiety have some degree of fear when they're in certain social situations or when they interact with people. When you regularly practice acts of kindness, you may find that your fears around social situations gradually lessen and you're able to interact with other people a little better. 5, practice sleep hygiene and get better sleep. People with anxiety normally have a conscious stream of thoughts. They often ruminate about negative events and have a very loud inner world that they are unable to shut off. This will often be amplified if you're an introvert. This will consequently make it more difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep through the night. When you are sleep deprived, your anxiety can be worsened and cause you to be stuck in a negative cycle of insomnia. I know this world, I feel you, but it can get better. It is highly advisable to practice sleep hygiene, such as making your bed more comfortable, removing sources that can affect your sleep quality like light and noise, and avoiding caffeine and alcohol in the afternoon or evening. And number 6, try to keep active. When a person takes part in physical activity and sport, it can effectively reduce depression, anxiety, psychological distress, and emotional disturbance. Physical exercise, when it's done in low to moderate intensity, can reduce anxiety and have both short and long-term positive impacts on psychological health. Moreover, participating in sports can benefit well-being and happiness. We hope you learned something from this video, and if you find that your anxiety is severely affecting your daily functioning and causing issues in your interpersonal relationships, it's highly advisable for you to seek professional help from a licensed mental health provider. They're able to give you appropriate guidance on how to manage your life, live your life to your full potential, and not be limited by fear of anxiety. If you found this video helpful, like and share it with friends that might find insight in it too. Remember to subscribe to Psych2Go and hit the notification bell for more content. All the sources used are added in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.